Welcome to today's insightful journey, where we're about to embark on an exploration of a recent exchange that has been sparking a heated debate on social media. So imagine this white guy. He responded to a certain sister's statement about racial labels, setting off a chain reaction of controversy and confrontation. But as the plot thickens, a brother enters the scene, dissecting the white guy's remarks and delivering a powerful response that leaves no stone unturned. So there is this white guy that decided to respond to our sister's statements about racial biases and all that. Then he decided to respond in his own separate video to that sister's video. So upon seeing that, a certain brother decided to respond to this white guy's video, and what he said is gonna leave you shocked. So if you're ready for this discussion, smash that like button and let's begin this ride.
I don't agree with napkin Americans, but in the case of this plantation Barbie, I agree. I would never call you napkin American to your face. I would probably go with something like rice rascal.
Nay, I will not. I will not sit back and watch white on white violence happen.
Do you need cocoa butter like I need cocoa butter? If you don't sit your white ass down,
You are 70% of the chalk you're trying to make fun of. You got fresh batteries in them detectors, don't you?
Oh, one of my favorite arguments is if you're mixed, you can claim just the black side because, you know, if you get a cheese pizza and add pepperoni, it's no longer a cheese pizza, right? Wouldn't that make white the default? Congratulations, you played yourself.
The only difference in our bathrooms is you have decorative lotion while I have decorative towels. You get ashy like I do.
Just out here constantly doing the chalk walk and nobody can see it. It's great.
Listen, you can hate folks of my complexion, but somewhere in your family tree, they wanted some of this grade A platinum card holding Shamit.
So sit down, all right? The Kardashians buy darker makeup than you. And if this hurts your feelings, call your dad. I'm almost positive he'll answer. So stay fun. Okay, bye.
So, bar none, is this you? Part of the salted tribe? Well, it seems like you have a lot to say about defining blackness to a black woman. So this is who you were responding to, Jackie Brown, a light-skinned black woman on this app, that you took issue with what she said. And in your quest of taking issue with what she said, you decided in your infinite wisdom to attack her blackness. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Well, you told her to call her daddy. She didn't have to call anyone because a black man saw that video. A black man that knows you would never have that same energy for them. Let's get it.
You need cocoa butter like I need cocoa butter. If you don't sit your white down.
See, here's the thing. The reason she would use cocoa butter and the reason you would use cocoa butter are for two different reasons. See, you would use cocoa butter because you've been trying to convince your sister that 3 inches is 6 inches and she just doesn't get wet enough for it. So therefore you have to apply cocoa butter. Next.
You are 70% of the chalk you're trying to make fun of. You got fresh batteries in them detectors, don't you? Dork.
That was lame, and I'm sure the only people that found that amusing are the people who are having voluntary sex relationships with their siblings. Next.
Well, one of my favorite arguments is if you're mixed, you can claim just the black side because, you know, if you get a cheese pizza and add pepperoni, it's no longer a cheese pizza, right? Wouldn't that make white the default? Congratulations, you played yourself.
Aw, that is so cute. The intellectual dishonesty of people like yourself with low IQs that believe that anybody but them would think that the people with a severe lack of melanin are somehow the default on a planet that revolves around the sun at this distance, and that the sun is the life-giving force of this planet, and people who can't even handle a couple of minutes in it without burning are somehow the default. Yeah, and as far as your metaphor, let's put it this way. Chocolate milk plus white milk only equals chocolate milk. But you had more to say.
The only difference in our bathrooms is you have decorative lotion while I have decorative towels. You get ashy like I do.
Just out here constantly doing the chalk walk and nobody can see it.
No. See, the difference is you only have decorative towels, while we also have towels to wash our head. Next.
Listen, you can hate folks of my complexion, but somewhere in your family tree, they wanted some of this grade A platinum card holding Shamit. So
Yeah, only the descendants of predators would think like that. Because to not acknowledge that the only way your genetic material got into our family tree was through the acts of force. And nobody was out here campaigning for those 3 inches of your ancestors.
sit down, all right? The Kardashians buy darker makeup than you.
So that was supposed to be a flex, that you picked a family of mediocre white women who have only made their name because they have culturally appropriated black women almost in their entirety? Now, who played themselves? And my final message to you is going to be in your own words.
And if this hurts your feelings, so stay.
And have the day you deserve.
So, after watching those reaction videos, I couldn't help but shake this question. Why do so many palm color individuals have such immense pride in the color of their skin? You know, regardless of that, it has a lot of disadvantages compared to our skin. But they still take so much pride in their skin as if it's gonna be their ticket to heaven or something. Now, the conversation, however it began, took a sharp turn when that palm color guy started spouting off his perspective with an air of pride and urgency that was palpable. If you're very sensitive to such topics, it's very likely that you felt a sort of burn in your chest as you were watching. His confidence almost breeds a sense of insecurity in the viewer. When the brother enters the scene, he delivered a knockout blow using his own words. And did you catch that verbal sparring match? Now, that's what I call a plot twist. He took the white guy's words and turned them against him, defeating him with his own rhetoric. It's almost comical how the white guy thought he had neatly summed up our race in that clip. But then when the brother got in, he just messed him up. Tell me what you think in the comments as we get deeper in this conversation. Do you have any idea of how the conversation started between the sister and that white guy? Before we get deeper into this conversation, let's take a moment to dissect the behavior portrayed by this palm color guy. You know, it's like he views himself as the epitome of humanity. Just by observing his facial expressions and the energy he is exuding, it's very clear that he's feeling himself as if he's leading the pack here, but he's only replying to that lady's video. Imagine if such a person was elevated to a level of maybe a governor. Just imagine the sort of pride that he can begin to emulate. Now, this behavior is a prime example of why these individuals cannot always be trustworthy. Despite his outward portrayal, it's often safer to stick with our own communities. And that's why the saying goes as, the devil you know is better than the angel you know nothing about. And this scenario just depicts that. These are the kind of people that you find in public places looking all innocent and all that. But in this video, it's very clear that this guy is a culprit of racial biases and discrimination. And even though this video is not about that, you can easily tell. Now, let's unpack the brother's response to this white dude's video. It's truly jaw-dropping stuff, right? The brother didn't hold back, delivering a verbal barrage that likely left the guy feeling more than a little uncomfortable if he saw it. With that sharp wit, he dismantled the white guy's cocoa butter references, exposing the absurdity of his claims. But it didn't stop there. The brother went on to challenge the white guy's assertion that he and his people are the default of the planet. With a stroke of brilliance, he highlighted the ignorance behind such a statement, pointing out that only black people could be truly considered as the default given the planet's climate and geography. Now, with that being said, it's moments like these that highlight the importance of discernment and critical thinking. We mustn't blindly accept the words of those who present themselves as authorities, especially when their actions and statements reveal a glaring disparity between perception and reality. Kudos to the brother who courageously stood up against this rhetoric, shedding light on the absurdity of the palm-colored guy's claims and defending the truth. It's individuals like him who remind us of the power of speaking out against ignorance and injustice. If you found today's discussion engaging, don't forget to show your support by liking, sharing, and subscribing. We value your input, so be sure to share your thoughts in the comments. What are your impressions on this video, and do you have any insights into how the conversation began from the lady's perspective? Thank you for joining us, and remember to stay curious and stay passionate. Until next time, take care, and we'll see you in the next video.